All right, good morning, everybody. We've had a lot of discussion on which day it is, what day of the week, and what the date is. I think I'm going to get this right. It's day 8, April 6th. All right, it's a Thursday morning, and we are headed out. We stayed the night at a hotel in Hiawassee at the Holiday Inn Express, and I'll explain why maybe later throughout the day, because there was quite an event of circumstances that has happened that caused us to stay and Teresa to have to stay even longer. So anyway, we are driving back out towards Addis Gap, and we are going to go southbound back to Unicoi Gap, and then Teresa will pick us up this afternoon and bring us back into town. There's all kinds of crazy weather going on. I'll show that in a minute as we drive out. But it's raining. It's going to get down to near freezing, maybe below freezing up in the mountains. So anyway, just adds to the adventure. It's still quite an experience hiking this thing they call the Appalachian Trail. Anyway, I'll let the girls say hello and good morning to you, Kelly and Jenny, and then I'll introduce our driver. Let him introduce himself, actually. So.
Good morning. So excited for the trail. Love the cold. Love it so much.
Cold and sideways rain. You can't beat it. All right. Gene, why don't you tell us as you drive safely down the slick road, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, hi, I'm Gene. I shuttle hikers here in the Hiawassee area. Be happy to share my number with you if anybody needs a shuttle. The number is 423-653-7417. And I shuttle anywhere, but it's probably best to keep it close to Hiawassee. Otherwise, the price goes up. But if you've got the money, I've got the time.
Excellent. Gene's got a really nice, pretty new Subaru Forester. It's a great ride, and he's a busy man, so book early. Get a hold of him early if you want him to shuttle you. And he's driving all over the place. Anyway, I'll show you the weather, and we'll keep going. So again, thanks so much for coming along with us. All right, well, we are driving towards our destination for the morning, which is Addis Gap, and we're on a Forest Service road off of Mill Creek Road, where our driver Gene, he doesn't know for sure even what the number is. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a real bumpy ride. Some people don't even want to come back here with their vehicles, so not an easy place to get to, but boy, it's sure pretty. It's raining and blowing. The weather's supposed to get pretty severe this evening, down a little below freezing, and so we're gonna hopefully be high and dry at the Holiday Inn Express again. No need for hypothermia this early in the hike. We'll do that later. Anyway, just thought I'd show you a little bit of the road we're on. All right, so Gene just dropped us off about 3/4 of a mile from the trail. So we're gonna have to do 3/4 of a mile uphill to even get to the Appalachian Trail. Then we're gonna turn and go southbound. Anyway, Gene was a great driver, so definitely recommend him. It's raining quite a bit, so I'm not gonna film long, but the quick version of yesterday's story was we camped at Poplar Stamp Gap. We did 13 miles 2 days ago and got up early and took off from Poplar Stamp, headed for Unicoi, which was 8 miles. We got in there about lunchtime or so, about noon, and some vandals had come through the parking lot sometime before we got there and broken at least 4 vehicles' windows. So they broke the window in our car and got in and messed stuff up a little bit, but they didn't really steal much. They stole a box of Pop-Tarts, brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Delicious. Evidently they needed them more than we did, so that was a bit of a bummer. Teresa has to go to Blairsville and have that fixed today. The guy overnighted a new window in for us, and anyway, so the poor girls, Jenny and Kelly, had to sit on their air pad, or no, their Z pad yesterday to not sit on all the glass that was all over the back seat and the floor. Anyway, so here we are. I think I've mentioned it, but the weather's supposed to be terrible. So we're going to go back to town tonight, and then tomorrow night we're going to stay at Top of Georgia Hostel because the weather's going to be below freezing and rainy. So that's pretty bad conditions. And since the options were available, we're using them. Anyway. All right, welcome back, brothers and sisters, friends and family. Let me get out of the road here. Good morning.
Morning.
You make it by?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Look at the view. So we're on the backside of, I think it's Tray Mountain. I don't know which mountain we're on at the moment. But anyway, the wind is actually blocked and the sleet has stopped, and it's not too bad. So, boy, we just saw a young man hiking with a friend, and the young boy, youngest one looking, had his sleeping bag draped over himself as he walked as it's pouring rain. All right, welcome back here. We're at the top of Tray Mountain. It's been snowing, sleeting, blowing sideways, but this is gorgeous, y'all. Look at the white tunnel that we're in. The snow sticking here, it is amazing. We're just a few feet off of the summit. You can't see much because of the clouds and everything, so I'm not going to go back up there. Plus my fingers are cold, so I don't want to have my gloves off very long. But anyway, we've done 5.5 miles or so from Addis Gap, headed southbound, and we're going to Unicoi Gap. That's where we're headed. So anyway, we're about in the midway for the day. It's 1 o'clock. We're feeling good. We're cruising pretty quick, but then stopping and taking breaks too. So anyway, it's going well. It's chilly. We've met some people that were awfully cold, but it's all good. You got to live and learn and get some experience with it. So anyway, I'll try and get some footage now. My camera memory was full, so I couldn't film any up until now. But now I've cleared some off, so I should be able to film. So stay tuned. We'll keep going. Thanks. All right, we came down Tray Mountain. We just went through Tray Gap, and we are still going down, I think, in general, and then we're going to go up Rocky Mountain here in a second. But I wanted to show you the sleet blowing sideways. Sleet are almost like mini hail or something, but we've done 8.6 miles so far, 3.5 hours or so. So we've been talking a lot because we're meeting so many northbounders, people we know, and they're like, hey, why are you going southbound? So we have to explain to them. So hi there. We have to explain why we're going the wrong direction, which for us today is the right direction. Oh, check this out. Anyway, wow. I'll turn the camera around. Wow. I can't see what I'm filming, so I hope I'm getting it good for you. But there's Tray Mountain right there. That's a pretty good one. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the weather. My hand's cold, so I want to get my little mitten back on. By the way, the REI waterproof over mittens that I'm using are very good. Really like it. So, all right, ciao for now. All right, welcome back. I just got the old camera out and turned it on. We're down in the bottom here between Tray Mountain and Rocky Mountain, and so it's not quite as cold, and there's no snow here. You can see the sleet's kind of stopped. I'll say this, I stopped a minute and put on my Patagonia Capoline base layer. I put that on over my t-shirt and my rain jacket back on, and wow, what a difference. When I'm going up the mountains, I get a little warm, but coming down, I was freezing in just my t-shirt. So having the right stuff, the right options is so important. And today we're sort of slack packing, which means that we've left some of our gear back at the hotel. We didn't need to bring it all with us. But ever the Boy Scout, I brought my tent along and my sleeping bag, so like worst case scenario, something really bad happens, we could set up a shelter and get inside. So Lipstick and Kelly brought their sleeping bags, and then we brought like enough food for today. We could certainly do without food for a couple of days if we had to. Anyway, but I also brought lots of options for layering clothing. So wow, what a difference it makes. So if you're going to do these kinds of things, make sure that you do your research and invest in good stuff, good quality, super lightweight, versatile items of clothing, so that you can be comfortable. Because I mean, we've seen some people today that have been so cold and wet that it's questionable what's going to happen. Sorry about the camera work. I'm walking with no trekking poles, but it's a pretty nice stretch of trail. So, wow, look at the sun's trying to come out. Huh.
That feels so good.
Look. Yay, first time all day that the sun's tried to come out. So, anyway, we're cruising along. It's been a wonderful day. And one of the neatest things about today is going southbound. We're running into everybody we know and making new friends too that are going northbound with us. So today we get to see them all because we're crossing paths. Anyhow, so I hope Teresa's doing okay with getting the window repaired from the car. And boy, we met some people along the trail that have already heard about what's happened to us, and so they were bummed out for us. But you know what? It's okay. There's a lot worse things that could have happened. I'm so glad they didn't get in the trunk, because we had some pretty valuable stuff in the trunk. So anyway, life is good. We're cruising right along today, making good time, except for all the conversations that we're having. So it's been fun. We'll check in a little later. All right, so, hey, you guys want to talk? You want to talk for a minute? Because I'd like to talk. I'm all alone here along this stretch for a few minutes, and so let's talk. Let's talk about climbing mountains. And how do you go about climbing a mountain? Well, I think I have a strategy. I'm not sure if it's the best strategy in the world, but it's a strategy that works for me. And so at home, when I'm running down the road, running's hard. And as I'm running down the road, I don't look way out ahead of me. I look at the ground about 10 to 20 feet in front of me. That's all the further I look. So when I'm out on a country road and I'm stretch out and you could see for miles, I don't look miles away. I only look right at the ground in front of me. And I just keep running. And I keep running. And I pray or listen to my music or my audiobook or whatever I'm doing. But that's what I do. I just look at the ground in front of me and keep going. And eventually, I get to the intersection that back a while ago was miles in front of me. And how did I get there? By looking at the ground in front of me and running one step after another. Hi there, good afternoon.
How are you?
Good. One step after another. One step after another. And so now here I am hiking the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine. 2,190 miles, a footpath for everyone. Anyway, how do you climb a mountain? By the way, I'm climbing Rocky Mountain right now. I think I'm gaining like 800 feet of elevation very quickly. Let me show you. Here's what I'm going up right here. So the trail maintainers have built like stairs and stuff with rocks. Anyway, it's quite a climb. So how do you go up a mountain when you're carrying a 27-pound backpack on your back and your feet feel like lead? How do you do it? Well, you don't climb the whole mountain. You only climb a small piece at a time. And when you're done with a little piece, you do the next piece. When you're done with that piece, you do the next piece. So maybe where you're at in life, maybe the mountain that you have to climb is getting healthier or getting out to where you can live life or whatever. If you look down the road at the end goal, it may seem insurmountable. It may seem way too far away. It isn't. Don't listen to those voices. Look at the ground in front of you and do small chunks. Do one small bit of the mountain at a time. When you've done the one, you move on and do the next. When you're hiking 2,200 miles, if all you think about is Maine, you'll never get there. Because it's insurmountable, it's too far. However, if you hike to the next water supply, it might only be a mile or two down the trail, you can get there. And then when you get there, you hike to your campsite for the night. And it might be 1 or 2 miles further, or whatever. You hike to your next resupply. Maybe that's 10 miles or 20 miles or whatever it is. But bite off small chunks. Bite off little pieces. So anyway, hopefully I'm not rambling. Hopefully, maybe you can take something, one of these life lessons that I'm learning on the trail, and maybe it'll help you wherever you're at to get to wherever you're going. So anyway, the sun is kind of trying to shine, and it's raining and sort of sleeting. Anyway, headed up the mountain and down the mountain, and then we'll be waiting. The car should be waiting for us there. So anyway, today I'll try and get some footage of Hiawassee and kind of what it looks like. And then maybe tomorrow I can answer some questions that some of you have had about, like, going to the bathroom in the woods and staying out in tents and things like that. So anyway, maybe I can answer some questions. And by the way, if you have any questions or comments or anything, be sure to post them below on the video so I can read them and I can do my best to get back with you on whatever your questions are. So thank you guys so far for all the comments and the encouragement that I'm receiving. So again, having the time of our lives, my life, it's been amazing. Meeting people from all over the world. Met Germans, people from Germany yesterday. Met a guy from England today. Of course, Craig from South Africa. Let me think. Anyway, people from Dita from Belgium. So people from all over the world and all over the country. It's amazing. Again, thank you so much for coming along with me. I don't know how much or how to tell you how much it means to me. So anyway, thanks a lot. Ta-ta for now. Here's still coming up Trey Mountain. I just wanted you to see this, like,